Diligence, or what Buddha also calls right effort, is just paying attention to the daily practice of what we're all talking about. So even though diligence or right effort is one of the Eightfold Path, it just says practice the Eightfold Path and pay attention to the Eightfold Path. Remember that knowledge is theoretical unless you put it to use. Of all the techniques that Buddha talks about, mindfulness is the most important. Mindfulness means being a silent observer of yourself. In recent times, Krishnamurti called this the highest form of intelligence. The highest form of human intelligence is the ability to observe yourself without judging yourself. And when you observe yourself without judging yourself, there is a spontaneous change in your thinking, in your behavior, in your speech, in your emotions, because you've become the silent witness, which is the deepest part of your being. And also, this can be practiced by just observing your breath, or just observing the sensations in your body, which is called Vipassana meditation, is an aspect of mindfulness. So you could say, today I'll be conscious of my breath off and on, not all the time. Or today I'll be conscious of the sensations in my body. Or today I'll be conscious when I eat my food. Or today I'll be conscious of my walking. Or today I'll be conscious of my speech. Anything, pick any one thing and practice mindfulness. The value of practicing mindfulness, I already mentioned, is that it spontaneously changes who you are, because you start to have insight. Mindfulness is the prelude to insight. And that spontaneously changes everything that we call reality. But the other value of this is that it actually gives you another insight, that you're not your thoughts, you're the observer of your thoughts. You're not your emotions, you're the observer of your emotions. You're not your body, you're the observer of your body. And of course, you're not your mind either, because your mind is your thoughts and your emotions. And when you have that insight, then you realize, so who's this observer? And the observer is consciousness. The observer is the ultimate reality. And of course, there are levels from where the observation is occurring. First, there's a personal observer. Then you go a little deeper. You find that the personal observer is a product of the collective consciousness, or the collective observer, if you want to call it that. You go a little deeper and you find there's a universal observer. So just by cultivating mindfulness, we spontaneously get deeper and deeper and deeper till we come to that ground of being, which is the ground of all beings. So the ground of being, at the depths of my being, is the ground of all beings, which means that the consciousness behind my thoughts is also the consciousness behind the intelligent activity of the whole universe. Now, when I have that experience, that is really enlightenment. That is nirvana. Because in nirvana, I realize that I am that consciousness that is simultaneously giving rise to the observer and that which is being observed. So, we usually identify ourselves with this person, this ego. But this person is constantly transforming. It's in the domain of impermanence. The ultimate observer that we experience through mindfulness is eternal, it's infinite, it's unbounded, and it gives rise to these transient manifestations which appear as the personal observer and all the objects of observation. So when I experience that, I can be only extremely blissfully ecstatic, because I realize at the depths of my being, I'm creating not only this fellow that I call myself, Deepak or Deepak Chopra, but everything that Deepak is also experiencing. That's freedom, and that's also the loss of fear of death. So of all the things that Buddha teaches, mindfulness is the most important thing. In the original tradition, that's Vipassana. It gives rise to first the observer and then the insight that comes. That, I had a wrong sense of who I was. Meditation is simply allowing the mind to quieten down till it starts to go slowly first into the field of the abstract and then slowly disappear into the field of silence. And when we are in that field of silence, we are in a field of infinite possibilities. We're also in a field that is connected to everything. Everything. It's the field of omniscience, omnipresence, omnipotence. It's the field where intention becomes very powerful. Intention orchestrates its own fulfillment. When people talk about the law of attraction, that's where it comes from. Intention has infinite organizing power in silence. So having the intention going beyond the secret passages and the dark alleys and the ghost-filled attics of our mind to the field of infinite possibilities. That's what meditation is. People often think of meditation as a way to relax. It's actually a way to be restfully alert. People think of meditation as a way to tune out. It's a way to tune in. People think of meditation as a way to get away from it all. It's in fact a way to get in touch with the all.